He's your system administrator. He's probably into comic books. And you tremble in fear when you have to hear one of his "what a dummy" looks. Got a virus, lost your password, or you just can't print. In an hour, he'll show up and crouch and squint. Fight to save your files. He might be there all day, but sometimes he just presses caps lock and walks away.
This week's question comes from the doctor. The doctor asks, I absolutely hate installing what seems like 50,000 updates after installing Windows. Is there a way I can put the latest service pack into my install set and save time? Well, there are two ways of going about that, and this is rarely known, but the hard way for doing this is built into Windows already. There's a bunch of complicated scripts, and it could take you hours and even days of trial and error just to get it to work. But some very smart people came up with a way to control all of this stuff via a nice GUI application. It's very user-friendly. And depending on your version of Windows, you get a different application. For Windows XP, it's Nlight, and for Vista and Windows 7, it's VLite. All of the links to download these applications is down there in the description for this video. So for this tutorial, I'm going to be using Nlight, and I'm going to be slipstreaming Service Pack 3 into Windows XP. First off, after installing Nlight, you come to this little screen after opening it, and next it will ask you for a Windows installation. Now, I already went ahead of time and copied an entire Windows XP CD to this folder on my local C drive. It doesn't work so well on network shares. I used 7-zip to copy everything out of the Windows the Windows XP ISO into this folder, and I already downloaded the Service Pack 3 network installation, which there's also a link for that in the description for direct download. So I just browse to that folder, Computer, C, Nlight, XP Pro. Okay. And it scans it. Might take it a little bit. And you see right here that it's at Service Pack 0. This is basically the OEM, just bare bones, whatever came out in 2001. Click Next. I don't really want to import any session here. Now here's all the options that they give you. All I'm going to focus on now are service packs, and I'm going to create a bootable ISO. All this other stuff, do at your own risk, but you can do some pretty cool things with them. Next, now it tells me what I have now is XP Pro release to manufacturer and the build number. And all I have to do is go out and select what service pack I want to integrate into this install set. And I just click Open here, and it does its thing. This could take a while, so I'll just cut back to it when it's done. Okay, and it completed the install successfully. That took like 3 minutes or something. Just click OK, and it updates the build number and the service release. Now, the next stage is to create a bootable ISO. Create image, that's fine. You can burn directly, if you know what you're doing, to a device, but I just want to create an ISO so I can burn it later if I wanted to. Just create a label, Win XP with Service Pack 3. And I go down here to Make ISO and click, and then you select a location. I'm just going to put it in this directory where I have been working. So I'll just win XP with Service Pack 3 .iso and save file. And I'll cut back to this when it's done. And it's done. There's nothing more you really need to do here, except just click next, and yeah, it's all finished, and then finish, and you're done. You now have a fully bootable slipstreamed copy of Windows XP. Now, your key will be exactly the same. Nothing should be different about the installation process with the method I just demonstrated. Now, you can get into other things like stripping things out that aren't necessary, like the default version of MSN Messenger that is 9 years old, or you can even script in the product key and do an unattended install. You can do a lot of cool things with this application and the VLite application, which is very much the same but for different operating systems. Now with Nlite, you can use it to customize installations for Windows 2000 and Server 2003 as well. And with VLite, you can use that for Vista, for Windows 7, for Server 2008, for Server 2008 R2. It's the same easy-to-use application as I just showed, only the interface is a little bit different. And you'll have to figure that out for yourself. It's well documented online, and if you have a question, it's probably already answered in the message board. And that's all I have for this week's episode of Ask a Sysadmin. Check back every week for new episodes.
Piss him off and you'll be fired by tomorrow morn, 'cause he's the guy who knows that you've been surfing porn. So make sure you stay nice to your system administrator.